Desunirando. I'm learning about virtual learning. I've not been a big fan of the concept of virtual learning until 2020. And I wouldn't even say I'm a big fan now, but I see the potential more than I had in the past. I know someone whose spouse got a graduate degree, mostly online, back at the beginning of this millennium. And she's smart, and she's good at what she does, and she learned a lot, and I wouldn't have been able to do that. I like group projects, even if someone isn't doing her share and is eating pizza and has pizza in her mouth when you're trying to ask her if she's done her portion of the report. That's all part of the process for me. But I think we're going to have a cookie cutter approach, and then best practices, and then people will try to sell best practices, and then corporations will buy best practices, and not-for-profits will buy best practices, and institutions of education at varied levels will buy them, instead of devising their own pedagogies, looking at their own area of expertise and looking at what they like to do, looking at their classes and their students, finding a way to make it feel as though a class is coming together. Otherwise, why wouldn't we buy the Great Learning Series? Whatever it's called, the thing that's a series of CDs and now downloadable stuff. Those are great too. It's great to hear old lectures. And there's learning in that. There's learning in reading a book. In my midlife, I started to become an autodidact and just decide to teach myself things. I went through several self-directed explorations of disciplines. So in a way, that's virtual. But when we say virtual learning, we mean on a computer, and I think we're not going about it the right way. I remember in recent weeks, I had a Zoom call that went really well because it was planned well and organized and well produced and had a production manager and the equivalent of a stage manager, and you're in charge of this portion and you're in charge of that portion, and people brought their best to the thing and ran it. I think there is exceptional promise. And I don't know, it might be like the high school or college athlete who shows exceptional promise and doesn't do well in the draft and or doesn't make it through Olympic trials and or just is someone who has great photos from high school or college of being athletic and in shape. I think that's where we're going with virtual learning, but I hope I'm wrong.